What if I told you that your voice is actually healing if you use it in the right way? Recently, I've been getting a lot of comments on my voice. A lot of you have been pointing out how mesmerizing it sounds, and I just want to, first of all, thank y'all because I didn't know I had it like that. But I also wanted to create this video because I wanted to talk about the intentionality behind why I choose to speak with my true voice. For the longest, I would speak in a higher octave without even realizing it because of past traumas that I had as a child. When I was younger, I was often made fun of for my voice and told that I sounded like a boy or a man. So as a child, I would intentionally switch the way I speak. But as I got older, I started to love the voice that I had, and I thought it was very womanly and deep and perfect for me. But because I was so conditioned as a child to switch my voice, I still never spoke with my true voice and still tried to be the loudest in the room amongst my friends. I had this random epiphany out of nowhere that I wanted to start speaking in my true voice. That true voice, the sound you make when you do a deep sigh of relief, that voice right there, that calmness and stillness in your voice. For some reason, I had this epiphany that speaking in your true voice is calming and healing, not just for me, but for others. And I stuck with it. I decided to start creating videos where I made sure I did breath work before I started the video, so that way I knew to enter that state of calmness when I speak. And this process actually helped me way more than I realized, because I have struggled with sitting down and recording because I was trying to keep up with society and the way everyone else speaks online. Everyone speaks so quickly, and I tried to keep up with that because I didn't want to lose the interest of my viewers. But every time I would try to pick up the pace in my tone, in my voice, in the way I speak, is when I would start to stumble over my words. And I realized that my mouth cannot keep up as quickly as my brain thinks. And so I took a step back on that. And I told myself that my voice is healing when I speak slow and calm, for me and for others. And once I started to speak in my true voice is when I started to get recognition and people pointing out my voice. And it made me realize I only had an epiphany of this. I want to make a video about this, but let me do some research to kind of back up my theory. And lo and behold, I was right. Your vagus nerve is the largest nerve in your body. It is connected from your brain to your throat, your heart, down to your gut. And this nerve is a part of the parasympathetic nervous system. When your parasympathetic nervous system increases is when you enter your rest and digest. On the opposite end is your sympathetic nervous system. That is all about fight and flight, when you're stressed, triggered, or anxious, when you fear. Knowing that your throat, the vibrations that you create in your throat, is connected to a nervous system that is all about rest and digest was already big enough for me, but I dove even deeper and found a study where they actually tested this theory. The study was about the bee humming breathing exercise, the one that a lot of yogis do where you breathe in and hum out like a bee. And you notice that is using your natural voice when you hum like that. And in this study, it was a group of patients, about 70 patients who had hypertension. And among those 70, they divided in half where 50 of them did regular breath work, not including the humming, where the other half actually did the bee humming breath work. And in that study, they were able to prove that there was an increase in your parasympathetic tone when you did that breath work with the bee humming instantaneously. When your parasympathetic tone increases, that literally is you entering your rest and digest. You are becoming calmer, aka your nervous system is regulating. So speaking in your true voice, your calm voice, literally regulates your nervous system. And ever since I started to be conscious of my speech, conscious of my breath work, is when I realized how much more calm I've been feeling since starting to speak like this. And I've carried this outside of just content creation. I started to speak like this around friends and family, and noticed that usually when I get around my friends and family, I struggle with trying to always project and be the loudest in the room. But now, with me being more conscious, I'm able to pull back and realize I don't have to yell to get attention of my loved ones. I don't have to yell to get the attention of others. I can just simply be myself and speak in this calm manner, and people are engaged and able to hear me and listen, truly. Diving even deeper into my voice, I was very fascinated around the amount of comments that I got about my voice, so it had me questioning, I wonder what frequency my voice is in. And after doing numerous random tests online, I came to the conclusion that my frequency is around 136 to 146 hertz. The frequency range of my voice is actually considered below average for a woman, but I actually fall into the range of a cat's purr, which is pretty funny that you guys call me mesmerizing, because I think when my cat is purring on my lap, I'm just like immediately in a trance of calmness. So shout out to y'all, because y'all made me dive deep in that. All that to say, if you are on your spiritual journey to find calmness and peace and stillness within you, and you're someone who struggles from anxiety, you have hypertension, or you have stress, then not only do the breath work, but also incorporate the tone in your day-to-day speech. Notice how you speak. Breathe in between your sentences. Really pay attention to the words that you speak over yourself, because a lot of us know that words are powerful, but we never knew that the vibration is also powerful too, because you start to notice that the frequency changes when you're excited, when you're angry, when you're scared. Your voice, your vocal cords, they change and they shift. So be conscious of the way you speak, because that is just as powerful as the words that you do speak. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Elle, for those of you who are new. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave some comments down below, and subscribe if you're not already. I will leave the links of everything I researched down below in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.